excuses. I'm just out of integrity with my wife and important dates to her. But she had
said important dates to her.
oh shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Tattoo Guardians podcast show. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Matt Clemmer, sitting here with our brother Hip. Today we cover integrity and what it means to you and all of us and how it shows up in your life and your business. We also have an amazing special guest sitting here with us today, my twin brother, Mr. Todd Clemmer. Without further ado, here's that episode now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tattoo Guardians podcast. I'm your host, Matt Clemmer, sitting here with our brother Hip.
Hello.
Our third co-host, Mr. Joshua Carlton, is out doing magical shit again. But we have an extra special guest with us tonight, a very good-looking motherfucker, if I do say so myself. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I got my identical twin brother, Mr. Todd Clemmer, live with us. How are you, brother?
I'm golden, thank you.
Happy day. Jeez, man. Hey, when'd you cut your dreads off?
Tuesday?
Tuesday. Sweet. Todd, first of all, thanks for taking time out and joining us. And Hip and I was talking, since we didn't have Josh with us tonight, we were just rapping like brothers and realizing how often in our content we throw this word around called integrity. And we also realized, because we too were guilty of really having a false idea of what that even meant most of our lives. And it's just been in recent years when Hip and I really learned what this thing called integrity is and also what it is not. And so now we throw that word around and we realize, maybe we should clarify to our audience. Well, Hip, you brought it up, which I thought was real wise, but what'd you think? You remember you brought that up? Like, maybe we should let the audience know what we mean when we say it.
Yeah, totally. So really, yeah, and talking about integrity, if you don't get specific, it can be a very broad statement. Meaning, like, when I heard the word, I felt like I was being reprimanded if someone directed it towards me. Growing and learning, I've begun to understand that it's not a morality thing. It's not good or bad, but it's workability.
Yeah.
And when we say integrity, it's simply that. What works for you, what helps serve you and your team or your community or your household, your relationships, make sure it works. And if it falls out of integrity, no big deal at all. Don't stress about it. Just put it back into integrity.
Yeah. One reason why, which, that was a mouthful. There's a lot to unpack there, but that's good. That's some of the stuff we've been learning. That was gold. And the reason why we brought Todd on is for three reasons. One, he's motherfucking Todd Clemmer. Two, he's one of the first people that I think was instrumental in teaching you and I what integrity means. I know you were for me, Todd, when you learned what integrity really was. And then you told me, it's one thing to get a clear understanding because it all starts with awareness, but then to actually taking the steps and shifting your identity into that is a practice, which we're all still growing in. But Todd, what would you have to say around this thing on integrity and getting clear on the definition of it first?
Well, to keep it simple, and first of all, know when you find out actually what it really means, for lack of better terms, it's great news. It was good news to me because when I discovered this new discovery of integrity and how it could work in my life, I already knew what the word was and had heard the word. Ironically, for me, I had even had a business named after it. I had even business cards made up called Integrity Roofing.
I remember that.
Still didn't know what the hell it actually meant.
Right. Yeah.
Fast forward years later, the good news about finding integrity off of what Hip was saying, it used to be in the land of morality or under condemnation. That's how it always fell into place for me. But to keep it simple, the good news of it is he put it the nail on the head. Integrity equals workability. That's it. So it's not good, bad, wrong, or right. You just got to look at it. Does it work or not? Right? So when you're out of integrity, you only have to think about, be focused if it's wrong, right, good or bad. First thing you want to realize, it just isn't working. It's not working for you. It isn't working for anybody else. But it's real simple. It's about workability, right? So think about if you're building a house and you say, well, it calls for this many studs in the wall, but I'm going to just start pulling a few beams, the support beams that it was called for. You immediately weaken the integrity of the home, and it just will not work. That's all. It just won't work. So life is the same way. So integrability equals workability. So that's great news, because you don't have to be attached to it meaning anything. You can just easily look at it in your life that way. And then you can clean it up, like Hip said. And there's really 3 easy steps on cleaning up integrity. Now, it's up to one individual. If you think that that sorry is in order, but it's not necessarily in one of the 3 steps. The 3 steps goes like this. 1, acknowledging where you're out of integrity, or out of line, where I gave you my word I was going to meet you here at 5 o'clock. First, I'm going to acknowledge that I at least know that I had a date with you at 5.
Right.
Step number 2 would be acknowledging
the impact
thereof.
Yeah.
And then number 3 would be put in place.
Number 3 would be what?
Number 3 would be putting in place. Well, therefore, it ain't gonna happen next time. What you're gonna do differently, therefore, it won't happen next time. So. Gotcha.
So, Todd, you cut out a little bit, and I realized I talked over you and for audio. So give us a quick recap, and I'm not going to talk over you. 1, 2, and 3 steps.
Step 1, acknowledge the breakdown. Step 2, the impact. Step 3, what you're going to put in place so it don't happen next time.
That easy, huh?
Yeah.
And when we say that compared to, because, yeah, I know for myself, my whole life I've had integrity attached to morality, meaning integrity meant you're a good man or a good woman, a good person, you do good things. And if you're out of integrity, you just not, whatever, whatever. And so it made it seem like a mountain to climb up just to get back, in the right standing, whether in that person's eyes, in my own perception, because condemnation does not serve us. So if I feel condemnation, even if it's from self, beat myself up, now that ain't, like Todd said, even working even on a greater level. And it just is like, oh no, but to remove all those emotions out the way,
so
and just realize,
listen to you, it sounds like once you get the ball of being out of integrity rolling, unless you kind of nip it in the bud quick, it can continue to snowball and start affecting everything, like you were talking about emotions and controlling your emotions off rip by acknowledging that it's not a bad thing, but if you don't get control of your emotions up front, that it can turn into a whole bunch of stories and crazy fucking meanings that we put.
Yeah, and when you say it's not a bad thing, it's a distinction between, even if the event seems like bad, if it's a bad thing, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person.
Right.
Because sometimes when we're out of integrity, it has an impact, and it usually is portrayed as a bad one, even if I'm out of integrity someone else, but it doesn't mean that I'm bad. It didn't work, and when shit don't work, well, that's a bad thing, but I'm not bad. Let's make the thing work again. Todd?
Right. So if you look at the impact and someone's continually out of integrity, we all know someone that is continually out of it, and people around them seem to listen to them, and whatever they say, gonna do, be, or say, or deliver, they listen to them in a much smaller way and don't put a whole lot of merit or weight on it, right? It's just And that's what we've all been, that guy or met that guy.
Oh yeah.
So that's low integrity, right? So that's the impact of it. But the good news is, if one starts to get this, they can turn it on like a light switch in their life, like a light switch. Just decide, just look in the mirror on this one issue and say, wow, I'm just going to actually start to be my word. I'm going to start to be workability. And I'm not going to sign myself up for anything hard that I can't even walk the fuck through. And I'm going to start there. But real simple, and just decide today, I'm going to now be integrity. And I'm going to acknowledge that it wasn't yesterday, but today, going forward, I'm going to be my word. Guess what? Just like that, on a light switch, you can start to turn the listening back onto the world around you in a much bigger way. And that deal can be restored. If you've been out of integrity, ask me, because how I know.
Yes. Man, that's so good. And this is why you open up saying when you really got this, it was good news.
Yeah.
Because any of us can flip this light switch.
Right.
There's so much in life we can't control. This is not one of them. We can find this switch and flip it.
Right. That was the second half of the good news. The first half of the good news was the fact that it had nothing to do with me being a bad guy or morality or wrong or right, good or bad. It was just about workability. I could look at it like a tool. I'm using the wrong damn tool for the job.
Yeah.
That's all. Just switch up the tool.
Yes.
Simple, and not be attached to this shit, and you get a quicker breakthrough, on the issue.
Yeah. And in that analogy, acknowledging, oh, fuck, I'm using the wrong tool. This isn't working. And I'm noticing the impact that there's fucking ain't working. And what am I going to put in place? A better tool.
So, Todd, I got a question for you. So, in my mind, I see like two different types of integrity. There's just like integrity with others, let's say, and then personal integrity. So out of those two, just to give the listeners a little breakdown of what or how I view personal integrity. I've heard a story handed down throughout the years, in one of the podcasts that I listened to. The gentleman brought it up again. But so Geronimo, we all know who Geronimo is, great Native American. He worked on his personal integrity so much that for 1 year he committed to riding his horse 2 hours away each day to meet with an autobiographer and would tell him his story and who he was, where he's from, etc., etc. And one day Geronimo fell deathly ill, flu, cold or something, and got on his horse and rode it 2 hours to meet the autobiographer, simply to tell him that he couldn't be there that day to give him anything to write about. And the dude was like, well, why didn't you just not come meet me? And Geronimo said, because I gave you my word. So for me, that's personal integrity, right? What I do that's integrity that I hold of bonds when I give my word to other people. So like there's that, and then there's the personal integrity, which is like, once I leave here, if I tell myself I'm going to go to the gym and I don't go to the gym. So out of those two distinctions between integrity with others and personal integrity, which one of those would you suggest someone tackle first?
Well, whatever one of the two, if they think that they can start either or the two, but I'm going to tell you right now, you want to be able to master the awareness of the self integrity, not necessarily master the self integrity over the other's integrity, but the awareness thereof, because that's being authentic and real with yourself. The more authentic and real that you can be with yourself and uphold yourself to just you and yourself and have integrity to yourself, that's where the real breakthrough is going to occur out exponentially on everywhere else. So if you want to decide, I'm going to start to be my word, the strongest way is to start to do it with yourself, and then everyone else therefore is going to be byproducts of your true integrity, Man. But that it can sometimes be too big for someone to chew off, and they think, well, I can at least start being nicer to Sally tomorrow. I'm going to at least commit to doing that. I'm not going to lie to her again. Whatever they're for, but the true power in it is getting it for yourself. And we're obviously tonight we're just talking about integrity, but you boys have talked before, and there's another post going on recently about even deeper than integrity, even more beyond integrity, about wanting to be coachable or teachable, or even be critiqued, or to be able to be stretched and grown, or even put yourself under, or just be mediocre. Well, I didn't chime in on that one, but I wanted to, because as that being a topic in my life, not only do I look for it, welcome it, but I pay money for it.
Come on.
It's hilarious. There's also layers to integrity. There's layers to it, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna the fastest pupils in life, in wherever facet, even if you're just trying to get off on being the best whatever in life, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be the dude that gets off on wanting to see all of his blind spots, gets off on being critiqued, gets off on being told how he can get better, for two reasons: wanting to actually really know and see, and three, needing the practice of being able to get over the offense to even hear it, and overwhelming that superpower. And the people that can do that are going to expedite their lives.
Man. So tell me more. You just touched on it, and you called it a superpower. What did you just call a superpower?
Being unoffendable.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a superpower. If you can become a person that is unoffendable.
Yeah. Whew. And man, when as one becomes a greater peace with themselves, more aligned and more fully in integrity with themselves, then, like you said, the byproduct is now integrity with the rest of the world. As you said, I could choose today, flip the switch to decide what? To be workable. To decide what? To be integrity. And there is no distinction when and where with who, myself or everyone else. It's deciding, no, this is who I'm going to be. I'm going to be integrity. Even though I love Hip's distinction that, there's me being my word to everyone out here, but what about, that's so powerful, what about me being my word to myself? Because like you said, Todd, we all know people that always talk shit, they're out of integrity. We all have friends that be like, okay, man, I'll be there, I'll see you. And we know when they say it, we ain't going to see them, which is cool. So we listen to them in a small way, right? And I'm realizing when I'm out of integrity with myself, when I've lied to myself, talk shit to myself, I start to listen to me in a small way and really don't believe in me. And if I want to grow in self-worth and really believe in me, it should start with, can I even trust my own ass? And that's why I love that you mentioned those that are starting out, don't sign up for something that's too hard. Commit, decide, with something, like anything.
If you just do something small that that you can walk out and do.
Yeah.
But the good news again about this whole thing, it's super, super simple. First, by just getting the awareness of what it is.
Yeah.
It's just workability and being your word.
Yeah.
Using the right tool. It's just having enough support beams. It's super simple, and you don't ever have to set yourself up to fail on purpose ever again. You actually don't even have to sign up at all.
Come on. Yeah.
You just sign up something that you decide, well, I'm going to be my word, and I can do that.
Yes. A good thing I think to interject, especially like people like Hip and I, that fall into people pleasing, right? We used to be way worse at it, and our intention was good, the people pleaser in me, so I would sign up for 10. Only have time for 6. I'm out of integrity with 4. Now they're mad at me.
Right.
I didn't have to do that, right? And so, like you said, you don't have to fucking ever sign yourself up to fail. For starters, you don't even have to sign up for anything. You know, if I don't commit, I can't fall out of integrity because I didn't give my word that I'd be there on my horse. But if I am going to say I'm going to be there on my horse, for starters, for my sake, I need to make sure I'm there so I believe my own ass, let alone integrity with everybody else. But people pleasing will cause me to be like, yes, I'll meet you on my horse, and yes, I'll meet you on my horse, and then I'll come meet you.
They'll easily
overextend. Yeah.
Don't do that. So I need to go, and I want to leave you at this. We definitely need to keep talking and share again and go over the 3 easy steps on how to clean it up, because when you decide to be your word on whether small or you're going to go play out big, and you decide you're going to do this and take on after you're aware now how what it is and what it didn't, and you don't have to feel bad about it, so you can easily play the game of integrity with your life starting tomorrow, big or small. You need to decide and learn the 3 easy steps on how to clean it up, because you will mess up. And then you want to don't want to be taken out of the game. Easily just go clean it up and go over the 3 steps on how to clean it up.
Yeah.
And I said them, but you need to give an example.
Okay. Love you, Todd.
Love you, gentlemen. I need to go see my wife who just got home from work.
Awesome.
Love you, Dot.
Love you. That's my name backwards, in case you didn't realize. Man, thought Todd was boring. When you think about it, Todd is one of the most common names out there that you never really meet, but it's like the most common name.
Why do you say that? Yeah, because you don't meet a lot of Todds.
Or even know very many. But if you do, they're usually goofy or something goofy about them. And usually if you see them on a movie or a film, he's usually a super tool.
Well, good. You're a true Todd then.
I tell people I like them to, because mine's with 2 D's, and I like to pronounce it as such. Between Todd or Todd, I mean, clearly you're that.
That's great. Hey, I love you, brother.
All right.
Thanks for joining us. Say hello to Danielle.
Will do.
Okay, love you, brother. Thanks, man. Good night, homie. Yeah, that's powerful. You know, one thing I appreciate about Todd, you know, we are twins. He's always had what I call the Southern man's gift. He's always been a great teacher. The ability to simplify things, say it quick, straight to the point. Where you guys know I can be.
Goddamn, y'all are polar
opposites, you know. And so I admire him. You'd think, I've known him since womb. You'd think someone would jump off on me.
Right.
He's, you know, we're mirrors, just like you and I are mirrors. He's been one of my coaches, and so as you've helped me, he does too. You know, for sure. But yeah, I appreciate his straight to the point. Hip, do you want to expand upon what he just challenged us to for our listeners to break down the 3 steps of restoration? That's what I'm calling it. You know, you can restore integrity by these 3 simple tools. You know, but he, I think, was wanting examples, which is funny. I mean, I know I'm throwing you on the spot.
Man,
I can think of one if you can't.
Well, no, and it's I can get examples of like personal integrity, because like he made a good point when I asked him the distinction, or like to choose which one should someone engage in first, personal integrity or integrity with others. And I like that he said, you know, it's basically, you know, eating an elephant a bite at a time. Whatever's manageable for you, go ahead and indulge in that, because you know, clarity comes in the doing, and eventually that will just overflow into bigger chunks of how we can stay in integrity and keep staying in integrity. Keep that ball rolling.
So if you want to roll it like that, can you do that with yourself? The 3 steps with you? Would you break your own word?
Man, mine's a little bit vicious because I'm somewhat of a martyr.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so like a gym's a big one for me. And it's like I will go to work and I'll get there about noon. Takes me, you know, I like to set up, takes me about 20 minutes, gives me a little bit of chill time. My assistant will show up, get everything ready. And then from there, the client will show up, we'll do the paperwork, put the stencil on, let it dry, tattoo. to about anywhere between 8 or 10. Then from there, the drive to the gym after work is sometimes the hardest drive. And the funny thing is I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be all about getting my workout in after gym. And you know, any tattooers that are listening, man, when you put in like long sessions, or it's a difficult piece, or your client's being difficult, or their skin is being difficult, you know, just a wrench in the spoke throughout the day happens. It just fries your brain. And it's almost like I got to give myself a pep talk, because that just being and honoring the word that I told myself I would stay true to at the end of the day has now taken some kidney shots, and the only thing I want to do is lay in my bed and Netflix and chill. And there's been times where it became a routine to do just that, and I wouldn't go to the gym. And then it got to the point to where, you know, when I'm telling myself in my head, I'm battling myself like, you ain't shit, you ain't about shit, you would have been doing this. Completely aware that like creating a new habit's hard to replace and create from an old habit. Old habits are so easy to start and to get back into.
Sure.
So like, you know, I have to acknowledge those things. And for me, you know, my path's different, so I'll have to literally do things like, okay, that's too big of a chunk for me to take right now. So each morning when I wake up and I do like my journaling, I need to maybe kind of write about what it would be like, or what I would look like if I was someone that went to the gym. What do people that go to the gym look like? And stay in integrity with just writing about it in the morning, and let that roll over until I get in a rhythm with that, and then that can start to spill into the gym that I'm wanting to do. And you know, integrity too, it seems like perfectionism. Like we're never going to achieve, you know, we're just never going to achieve integrity.
Again, and see, that's where I think this conversation could get dangerous.
Yeah.
Because it's simple and we have a choice. This is something we can control. We can flip this switch.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that we should use the word never in this scenario. Like you'll never be able to. Because I think right now what we're saying is it is possible and you can. We also know there's degrees wherever you're at in this. Now, it's not like you and I have gotten to a place where we can say we are our word all the time,
right,
to myself every day. So and maybe you feel like you may never be. So I get it. But I think that's what I appreciate about the spirit Todd was trying to bring on this conversation, is for us to not make this seem like a mountain to climb,
right?
That this is like hard. He's simplifying it,
right?
You know,
and I did start out saying I'm a martyr.
I know, and you know, really asking the question on the 3 simple steps to restore. You took us the long route that you do yourself, but all that was fucking good,
but unnecessary.
Know? Well, but that was part of your process. But as all of us awaken to our own awareness of even how we're doing the process, we're using unnecessary tools to get the job done just as good, but in half the time, who knows? But as you grow in your self-awareness, you'll be able to see that. Mm-hmm. But at least you were acknowledging where you're at, and I liked how you attacked your habit, even if it was like, well, hey, I may not be able to go to the gym tomorrow, but god damn it, I'll start fucking writing about it, you know. So I love that you were pushing that way, and you gave yourself the process. You wrote about it enough to make you be about it again, you know. So that's awesome. I just think, you know, but back to how can we simplify restoring integrity with ourselves? And you know what, Hip, I gotta be honest, I don't know how much work I've done specifically on that with myself. I do, but you know, because I was thinking of scenarios where it's really impacted my life here in recent years once I've learned this and been able to communicate it to others. So we'll use an example of, like, I'll give you 2 examples. One, I used to be the guy that was fucking late to every appointment. client been sitting there 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm a nice guy. We know I'm not a bad guy. Whatever my reason were. And when I'd show up, it was like party time. Today's your day. It's all love, right? What my ignorant ass didn't realize is how much that occurred as arrogance to my client. Not only that I am late, but when I showed up, I'm skipping rainbows and giving hugs and hey, and I would mention like, hey, sorry I'm so late, or even text them, hey, I'm gonna be late. So but and what I didn't realize is the harm that was causing out the gate. Once I grew in that self-awareness, dude, making the shift in the power of acknowledging changed everything. Now that I'm in this mode, first it makes me want to quit having to do this. So again, when your awareness grows, you get more aware, like, I don't want to be on integrity. I don't want to fucking be late no more. But so it already cuts down on the odds of you once I saw that I seemed like Mr. Arrogant, I didn't want to be that no more, right? But the power of acknowledgement, like Todd was saying, hey, we had a meeting. I was supposed to meet with you here at 5, and I didn't show. And I acknowledged that. He even said, like, the word sorry can be optional, because that's a side a la carte, if you will, to acknowledging your time, your life, the agreement we made, and that I'm the one that broke it. I'm acknowledging that. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledge the other person, their time. You've been waiting 45 minutes on me. I always do say, and I apologize for that. I don't just say, I acknowledge that. I say, I apologize for that. Mm-hmm. That right there is powerful because they feel respected. It's been acknowledged. And I used to do the same thing with my wife all the time. It'd be little things that I didn't do or say or said I would or wouldn't do. And it not only with that, it wasn't that so much that bummed her out as the fact that I just didn't acknowledge it. And some of them I thought would go without said, or it wasn't that big of a deal, whatever. But all those added up, resentments create blah, blah, blah. Once I recognized it, I'll tell you, man, when I acknowledged my wife, even if it was the littlest thing, dude, changed everything, even in her. And it went from her resenting being mad at me to like fucking, she was able to let it go quicker or almost immediately. That's why it was a simple restoration. Just put the other piece of the pole back up, an analogy Todd used. I acknowledged, I just took that pole out. It fucked up the integrity. Shit's not working now. Our appointment, I told you I'd be here at 5, but I wasn't. It doesn't work. It's broken. And I'm the one that did it. I acknowledge that. And I acknowledge the impact it just had. I acknowledge that it made you feel like I don't give a fuck, or your time ain't as important as mine, or I'm motherfucking somebody, whatever. I acknowledge it had a negative impact. Here's what, after acknowledging it, this is what I'm going to do to put in place to make sure this don't happen again, or whatever the case may be. And those 3 simple steps. And I like that third one, even though, because I just glazed over it. It's not just saying, I won't do that again. But it's saying, not only will I not do that again, but here's what I'll do differently next time so that this doesn't happen again. Boom. Communication, acknowledgement, integrity restored. Now we can move on. Complete.
Right. And so, like, great simple examples to restore integrity. But is it brutally or like double the impact if, let's say, someone realizes that? And basically what I'm doing is, for anybody that's like me and is looking for a loophole, it's like, cool, so I can just fuck off and still abuse people's time, or me committing to babysitting or whatever it may be, just as long, and I can be as late as I want and fall out of integrity just as long as I acknowledge it. Then, the a la carte of I'm sorry, and then from that saying what I can do different, only for the next time to come to have that opportunity to do something different, and have forgot about it, and now I'm just replaying that same thing over and over again. Like, now is that a good justification for me to be out of integrity? Or like, say someone who's lazy, they find this secret out, and they're like, cool, well, as long as I acknowledge it and acknowledge the harm that it caused, and then come up with a plan to not do it again, I'll be cool next time it happens, because I'm inserting integrity back when I'm out of integrity. Or like, that just seems like a mind fuck.
Well, no, because that's fucking wouldn't last long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you did that to me 3 times in a row, you know you're out of integrity, but your attempt to restore integrity with me wasn't authentic. The first time, maybe I believed it, but if you did it to me a few more times, now even your acknowledgement, because again, so that won't last forever. It doesn't get you out of anything. It restores something. But again, you got to understand, the man that's actually able to restore integrity is the man that's actually decided to be his word from here on out. And in the moments, because we are human or shit happens, when that man is out of integrity with his word, whether to himself or to you, will immediately now has the tools to restore it, not get him out of anything. There's no getting out, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, again, it's just an awareness game, for sure. What I was, what this conversation's brought up for me is realizing how, or if I even have that conversation with myself so much. Meaning, like, to my wife, I can be like, baby, I acknowledge I didn't come through like I said. And I acknowledge the impact that it had, because now we can't have what we was gonna, whatever. Babe, I should have done this. Next time I'll do this. I'm so sorry, blah, blah. I'm trying to think, do I say that shit to me? You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if I was you, because right now I'm not in a season of going to the gym, but if I was really wanting to, and, I can't, or whatever, I'm trying to think of a personal with me where it was like, man, Matt, you said you was going to do this, but you didn't. And again, you're a martyr. I'll beat the hell out of myself too, that's the trap, is it just holds us back longer. The good news about this is we don't have to beat ourselves up. You've always been the penance guy, Hip. You'll lash yourself. If you're down, you're like, give me that, I want to whip my own back.
Right.
And you'll whip your own fucking back. But the good news of this is the whip's not the right tool. Mm-hmm. Come on, fucking grow up, put your big boy pants on, acknowledge your shit, take responsibility, move on, be your word.
Right. And how you said you don't even know if you really come at yourself like that, which is like not for you asking yourself that question, but just for the listeners and to get a view of what Todd thinks about it, because it seems like a similar design is afoot, is coming ahead. And what that is like, it all comes from me first, from inside first. Yeah. How can I love someone if I don't love myself? How can I be in integrity with someone if I can't be in integrity with myself? How can I be willing and how can I expect someone to be willing and teachable from me when I can't be willing and teachable to someone else? Like, it's all internal work. And then that plays, man, in integrity with tattooing, dude, like, there's little things. Like, I know this, all of us do it to some extent, but like, you get so fried and you've put in and gone the extra mile, and it's still like, man, I just got to cut this corner here or I'm going to fucking die by the end of this tattoo. And we've all done it. And we all get to a point to where the night's over and we look at our tattoo, and if you're anything like me, you go home and right before you get ready to go to sleep, your brain's like, hey, jump on your phone real quick and zoom in real close to that spot you wanted to fucking cut a corner on and fall out of integrity with yourself. Yeah. And look at that until fucking 7 a.m. while you're drinking bleach. And I've done it, and it's just, it's something that'll never go away. And then I try to reinsert integrity on the next tattoo and keep continuing this rolling, but it's like, it's a game of cat and mouse, because I'll fall out again or
so back to what Todd was saying.
Right.
We don't have to fall out of integrity. What the fuck are you signing up for?
Mm-hmm.
Don't sign up for it if you're not going to do it. Right?
well, okay.
Which is hard for guys, like, for everyone. But it still don't change the fact, I know if I sign up for something, even when shit gets tough, I know I fucking said, am I going to be my word or not?
Right, and that right there is like where the fucking rubber hits the fucking road, dude. Because there's been, man, and you've seen me go through these fucking growing pains where I'm all in for some shit. Like I fell, dude, y'all, I fell completely out of integrity with my wife. It was like her birthday. First off, I had scheduled a tattoo on her birthday, which I'm notorious for fucking doing this shit. I don't know, I'm selfish or... I'm just caught up in the hustle, I guess, is my excuse. The excuse is I'm just out of integrity with my wife and important dates to her. But, she had
said important dates to her.
oh, shit. I didn't mean how it sounded.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
You in trouble again.
Damn it. We're going to have to label this one something else. And I'll be like, you don't need to listen to that one. There ain't shit on it.
Real talk, though. Real talk.
Yeah, it won't make sense. But no. So I did it. I started working on a journey of doing like a fucking tattoo of her cousin. And it was a horrible picture. And already... I know not to embark on horrible pictures, but I did it anyway. Like it was already weird. I'd forgot about her birthday and like I got her in on her birthday. I just wanted to make it special. So by any means necessary, I'm going to embark on doing this portrait. And man, fuck, you remember that, Matt? I was battling myself the whole time, getting pissed. I think I had you set in on it, and it was just a big... painful crybaby learning experience where I was just completely out of integrity. Like I was cool with just fuck off integrity, and it's that rubber meets the road area. When you commit to something, a lot of times it's like it's hard to know what you're committing to.
Right.
Fully.
So, okay, good. And I like this. Because integrity, because this is a great conversation, because it's so easy to slip in and out of what it is and what it's not, right, Hip? And so what do we do when you are in those situations? We can reestablish our word, right?
Yeah.
This is all about fucking being authentic. Is that what you're looking for?
No.
Okay. About being authentic, right? So check it. I gave my word. I'm going to tattoo you for 19 hours, whatever. We're signing up for a fucking marathon, right?
Yeah.
And once we get in it, shit's changed. Even if that's whatever fried, I'm realizing, oh my God, a bit off more than I'm not going to be able to hit the mark, right? Now what do I do? And this means I'm out of integrity, right? I got to stop, have the humility and the authenticity, which you're great at. Just have real talk and be like, you know what? I signed up for more I can chew, blah, blah, and reestablish my word. Like, I'm going hard and get blah, blah, but I'm not going to be able to get done what I thought. And I'm telling you that now. Here's what's possible, now, blah, blah. Whatever the case may be, the more we can give our word, and just be our word.
Right.
But in the moments where even if it looks like, or we know it's not gone, to be our word, we reestablish it by being new word and being, again, acknowledging I was off. I gauged wrong. I'm acknowledging that. Here's the impact. We're not going to finish. My bad. Next time, now that I got a better I won't fucking whatever, Establish new word. It's the best we can do. But that's in the process, and you're being human and being authentic and honest about it, reestablishing your word versus fully falling out and then trying to restore something that's different, but powerful. I'll tell you, I'm on the tip. I like it. I need to become more my word with me. I mean, we all do, but
right.
Again, though, we don't have to commit to anything. That's what Todd's saying. Like, hey, you want to be your word? Only commit to what you know you can be.
And you know what? Thank you for bringing that up, because that was something I forgot to ask him. And that's another one of those dangerous loopholes that can go the opposite side of the coin. Now, if that's the case, do I just live my life not committing to nothing so I'm in integrity with myself and others at all times?
Sure. If you don't want to achieve your dreams.
Right.
This is about you. Integrity is the tools on your tool belt. You're not the tools on integrity's tool belt. You know, you get to control the switch.
So in your mind,
But if you're saying, so I just never turn the light on ever again.
right,
Yeah.
totally.
Right. But
Yeah.
that doesn't serve you because some of the things you're called and want to do, the lights have to be on.
Right. So okay, in your mind, it's better to take a
Self-awareness.
fucking risk and fuck up and fall out of integrity versus committing to anything but stay
So
solid
you're
to your
breaking
word.
down, you're making it an either or in both extremes.
right.
And the harmony and the balance is in the middle, but you are the captain of your ship. You get to define that. So because what you can commit to and actually keep, and what I've seen you do, how much you are your word, is way more than what others would ever be able to handle, let alone sign up for. So this looks different for everybody.
Totally.
But it's not those two extremes of either all or nothing. You know, it's in the middle of what you're signing up for. But what are you signing up for? What you're signed up for, which is what you were created for, what you're called to, what your dreams are, what your vision is that's been given directly to you. You know what I'm saying? For you to walk in you. It's just being your word along the way. And so it's being aware so that we're wise and cautious about who and what we sign up for. Being afraid of being out of integrity should not dictate who and what I sign up for. Knowing being in my power and wanting to be my word for all of them should dictate what I sign up for. So this comes down to a few things with guys like me and you. For me, it's one thing is just organization, right? And discipline. What I've already signed up for. B is not falling into people pleasing because we want to hook it, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, shit, even though we're, you know, we've seen each other fall out of integrity a bazillion times. So, guys, what we're sharing is from, again, failing, not from mastering any of this.
Oh yeah, this is just continued failure. Like, there's just, you know, I get stumped talking because everything that we talk about and have started to talk about on this podcast, I've just got fucking countless and countless of experience of failure at it over and over and over and over again, trying it this way, trying it that way, try to fit this fucking square peg in a round hole, like every way possible, and then I might get it once, and it's like it's one of those aha moments, and I feel the growth and I'm instantly sprouted and I'm good to go until it comes around again, and it feels the same. Like, I always think of like life or like growing and progressing in anything as like a spiral staircase. You know, you start at ground one and you work your way up to that first level, and you feel like you're at the same spot, and you know technically you are at the exact same spot you were at when you started, but you're just a level higher than you were the last time you felt like that. So, man, it's just I've been hearing that word thrown around a lot, failure, and it's like it's becoming so much more of an attractive, beautiful word to me, because if I really lay out my life on a day-to-day basis, it's just simply a bunch of failures. That's my entire day, is just failure after failure after failure after failure. I and you know, like sitting here while we're doing these recordings, I got my watch, my phone, and my iPad on, and it is now midnight Eastern time, and at 8 o'clock I was supposed to be at the gym, and I got that set every day to ring. So it's like I get a boom notification, okay, out of integrity. Pick up my phone, out of integrity. Pick up my iPad, out of integrity. When I go to open my MacBook, it's going to show me like, hey, you're out of integrity. And it's like, you know what? You failed at it, but that's all right.
Sure, but okay. To acknowledge, do you know how you failed at it? How were you supposed to be at the gym at 8 and sitting here filming a recording podcast?
Well, and I'm just using this for like a vague description
Right.
of failure throughout the day. But so what I've done is I just go to the gym at 8 p.m. all week long, because like I don't have set days that I go. I just kind of go and go and go, and then I don't go, but I still get those same notifications. So that way, when I'm not when it's a day where I've told myself, maybe not checked it on my phone, but told myself like, well, you're not gonna go to the gym today, so I'm actually being in integrity with a rest.
Yeah.
It's still gonna pop up to start firing the pistons to be like, yep, tomorrow it's gonna be on again. So like I've got certain notifications that I get daily. Like every Wednesday I don't necessarily draw, but I get a goal that comes up on my calendar that reminds me to draw as soon as I get to work. Some days my Wednesdays are filled with a lot of drawing and stencil building. Other days are filled with consultations and deposit securing. But I still have it show up. Mm-hmm. But the thing is like it all falls back on me and present me. Like if I'm going to commit to something, just realize being it. And what's helped a lot is noticing that my mind is not me. It's just my mind. That's how come we say my mind. We don't say I mind. Mm-hmm. And whenever it fills my head with these crazy shit like, oh, you're failing, you're out of integrity, blah, blah, blah. Chill. It is just an event. It does not mean what you're making it mean. Put the leg back on the table and go.
Right. Yep, that's good, man. Yep, that's good. I like it, man. What a beautiful message tonight. I'm glad Todd joined us to help break down this thing called integrity. Yeah, whether we used to use your example, because again, I want to end it on the idea and invite our listeners to take on and try on the opportunity of making this real simple in your life. Wouldn't it be cool if you just woke up tomorrow and was completely your word, meaning everything you had decided you were going to be today, do today, who with and when, that you just were, and that you weren't out of integrity with anyone? What if you just woke up and said, I'm not going to lie to myself or anyone ever again, and I'm just going to be my word. I'm just going to fucking actually really do what I say. And since I'm going to do that, I'm actually really think hard about what I say and what I'm going to do today. The exciting part is I'm going to just be my word today. And you actually have that choice, and you can, And my God, your life will change, and everyone will start to listen to you in a bigger way. That's just some of the payoffs, but I want to encourage you, if you're listening right now, that you can. If there's any part about this that you feel like some huge mountain to climb, I want to invite you to consider there actually is no mountain. Have you created the mountain? These are things I ask myself to make it easier. There is a difference between simple and easy, right? These are simple tools. Doesn't mean it has to be easy, but it's simple. It can be simple.
Yeah.
Hip, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
I want to give another special thanks to Todd Clemmer. Todd, thank you.
AKA Da Dot.
That's right. And this is Matt. Josh, we love you. Thanks you all for tuning in and listening, going on this journey with us. We'll see you next week.